Tuesday, April 1st, 2025 at 7:04 p.m. If everybody could rise to say the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk Williams, call the roll.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Taylor. Trustee Roll. Here. Trustee Lynch. Trustee Clark.
Here.
All right, Trustee Brown is absent. Thank you. Go ahead.
He'll be here in a few seconds. Okay, presentation of regular board meeting minutes of March 18th, 2025. Would somebody like to make a motion?
So
Trustee
second.
Williams, trustee Roll second. Any questions, changes, corrections?
one slight correction. I'm not present on the minutes.
Yeah, I'm present on the minutes. So can we make sure we amend those minutes to include that Camille Rowe was at the meeting?
Okay. That's the, okay, last month. Okay.
Yeah. Is there any other questions or comments? Clerk Williams, call the roll.
Trustee Williams. Trustee Taylor. Trustee Roll.
Yes.
Trustee Lynch. Trustee Clark.
Yes. Treasury report, Brian Jansen.
Good evening, everyone. Bills payable for March 28th. Corporate was 165,166 and 67 cents. Motor fuel tax was 2,809.11. Sewer and water was $60,043.88. Foreign fire insurance was $10,562.82. The TIF industrial was $465. TIF Halsted North was $18,357 even, and TIF Halsted South was $2,140.25 for a total of $259,544.73. The contiguous TIF transfer is needed for $18,500 in order to between the TIF and Halsted North in order to pay the bills that are due to the warning sirens out of that TIF.
That's the warning sirens for the news station, right?
It's both locations and the bill is split, but this is the piece that's going against the TIF versus the one for the general budget.
Well, that was, the other one was supposed to come out of our COVID.
Not the warning sirens.
I thought it was. That's how we voted.
Yeah, I don't believe so, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
That was under the ESDA. We were gonna, it would be a deficit, but it's under ESDA.
Okay, would somebody like to make a motion to approve the bills payable?
So move.
Trustee Roll, do we have a second?
Okay.
Trustee Clark, any questions or corrections? Clerk Williams, call the roll.
Trustee Williams.
Aye.
Trustee Taylor. Trustee Roll.
Yes.
Trustee Lynch.
No.
Trustee Clark. Trustee Brown.
Payroll.
Payroll for the check dated March 21st, 2025. The administrative payroll was $17,107.04. Public Works was $11,584.33. Police Department was $113,377.65. Fire Department was $26,749.06. Senior Center was $345.99. Elected positions, $6,274.36. Sewer and water was $21,885.20. Glenwoody Golf Course, $14,463.13 for a total payroll of $211,986.76. As far as the notable payroll amounts, over time we had police at $713.98 with a reimbursable amount of $3,245.77. Public Works, $407.61. Sewer and Water, $756.97. Fire Department, $21.13. Golf, $485.90. Paid on call was $11,767.89. Economic Development Stipend, $496.85. And Deputy Clerk Stipend, $207.42.
Would somebody like to make a motion for the approval of the payroll? Trustee Taylor. Trustee Clark, any questions?
I do have just one. The $345.99 for the senior center. Can you tell me what that is?
That's for, I think it's Rich Cameron that does it part-time.
Any other questions? Clerk Williams, call the roll.
Trustee Williams, trustee Taylor, trustee Roll,
Yes.
trustee Lynch, trustee Clark,
Yes.
trustee Brown.
Okay, the meeting's now open to the public. You can come up, write your name and address down, and you can address the board. Okay. No problem.
Phil, the golf course, I'm sorry, did I look at this incorrectly? I apologize. That's not overtime. Okay, I apologize. I'm sorry, Mayor. No. I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Anybody wishing to address the board? Okay. Communications from the mayor's office. I hope everybody out there voted today. The polls have closed, obviously, so hopefully you did. Attorney's report, John Donahue.
Thank you, Mayor. I know if Leon Moore were here, he'd be asking about this, so I'll tell you. No, he's not here. He's always asked about filing the mortgage foreclosure, asking for Tuscan Gardens. That has been filed. Count one is for standard mortgage foreclosure. Count two is to recover on his personal guarantee to pay the village back that he signed. Well, we have summons issued and in the process of getting that out to the Cook County Sheriff to get everybody served. And then we'll be off and running, so.
Okay. Village Administrator, Brian Mitchell.
Good evening, Mayor, Board of Residents. A couple of announcements. Our sticker sales for the village vehicle stickers started today. As well, we will be having the advertisement coming out for our Easter Egg Mania, which will take place on the 19th. Those details will be out to follow. As well, we will be having the finance budget meeting that we had the survey out on. That will be posted on Friday. It will take place next Tuesday at Glenwoody at 6:00 p.m. And then at this particular time, that concludes my remarks for this evening, unless any member of the board has a question.
Is there any questions? Okay.
Thank you.
You can give us an update on the economic development projects?
Yeah, currently two projects are in action. One is the Wingstop with the Jet Pizza. Inspector Woods and myself were there yesterday. They're pouring the floors. The roof is finally on. The steel has arrived with clay. They have the roof structure on and they've poured half the floors. They'll be pouring the other half and finishing some curb work. So they hope to have asphalt in the next couple of weeks, as soon as the plant's open. The other project is the building behind the Burger King where the distribution center will be. The interior work is proceeding well. They had inspection on all the rough ends of the HVAC, the electric, the plumbing, and their drywall ready. So that is proceeding well. They should be starting on the parking lot and you'll see that the rear alley, that was all torn out. And they should be starting to work on putting in the drive ramps and the loading docks off the rear alley to the occupancies there, and the gas company is kind of holding us up. The other piece I had just to report on was that we did do the bid opening that we had put out for the work here in the Village Hall. And our push there was to try and get the bids back in for the replacement windows and changing some of these windows as I explained. Joe and I put together the bid packet. Unfortunately, when we had the bid opening, we only got one bid for the windows, and it was pretty high. And the concept there is to get windows that open so that we can get advantage of the outside air in the spring and in the fall. Every year we have problems in this building with the heat, as you well know from sitting at meetings, and it's a killer. The second piece of that was replacement of the HVAC system, which is also very problematic because the boiler system and the chiller system is very expensive to run and it's very expensive to fix. And we're at the point of end of life on both sides of that, the chiller and the boiler. So the bids were put out to zone off the building in anywhere from 5 to 7 individual zones with gas forced air heat that would be placed up in the attic. And unfortunately, any of the bidders got back to us, all reported that they needed more time for the bid. And because we can't produce blueprints. So I'll be back before the board at the next meeting to get permission to go out for a new bid date on that. The peril there is that we're gonna get into spring here and we're all gonna suffer in this building because of the excess heat. So we gave it our best, so we're gonna have to rebid that. That ends my report, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Please note that trustee Brown is here. Any new business? Any old business?
Nope.
Will we at the next meeting or go wait after? See what happens with the election, COVID funds, I know we, okay. And then, Chief, where are we with the speed bump analysis? So how many places are we?
Sure. So what was your question?
How many places are we waiting for quotes coming back? Cause I know you said that last meeting, waiting for that.
Well,
That-
right now, they have a sole source letter as specific to their product. We've been looking at other comparables, but there's not a lot in that business as far as removable. There's plenty of, the concrete that could be put in, installed forever, but obviously Public Works, that would conflict with the snow plowing. So this is something that we're waiting on. One company that's called Traffic Logics. We've got all our street measurements from Public Works and engineering. We've had meetings with them, so they're in the midst, they're still coming up with pricing.
Okay, then just two last things. I know we talked about the sign for the overnight parking being in the neighborhoods.
Yeah, I confirmed they're they're in just about every entrance to all residential units.
So when I turned into my off Strife onto Rainbow, I didn't see anything on either 187th or,
I got the photos here.
we can talk about it offline.
I know
but-
that they might not be at every single entrance, but I know that they're there off of Pleasant, Go and Gay. I think when you come in off of Arquilla, maybe there needs one on Strife. The Forest and the Point, just about every subdivision entrance had. I don't know if every one of them does, but they're posted throughout the village.
Okay, and then I know we talked about the camera. with seeing if it has the capability, on Halsted of capturing, I believe we were talking about those.
We're still looking into that, researching with their legal team to see if it's feasible. I
Okay.
know that it may or may not be due to the fact that these LPRs are under a lot of scrutiny from groups such as the ACLU and on their use. And by statute, their intention is to be an investigative aid. So I'm not sure whether for enforcement at this time, we're still looking into that.
Thank you, Chief.
Any other old business? Somebody like to make a motion to adjourn?
Hang on, I got a quick question.
Okay.
Clerk Williams, do you have that I'm here? I'm here.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Second,
First by trustee Lynch, second by trustee Brown. Clerk Williams, call the roll.
Trustee Brown,
yes.
trustee Clark,
Yes.
trustee Lynch,
Yes.
trustee Roll, trustee Taylor, trustee Williams.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight.